Warning, you are about to watch Footy Nut Guy. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Hi everyone and welcome to VEDA Day 19. I was struggling with coming up with an idea for today's video, but then I saw Bill TV Macon's latest video in which he talks about him watching Charlie's latest video, and then before that he saw a video from a young girl who's talking about a father going to work despite him being in a lot of pain and him managing to provide for his family working in a factory, and how difficult that would be for him with all the pain. And he was asking the question, is Charlie's what Charlie does, is that anything less than what this person does? Because obviously it's a lot more difficult for this person with all the pain they're in to be able to provide for the family, and there's Charlie. Okay, he works hard at his videos and manages to earn a nice living, but is what Charlie does any less than anyone else? And he comes up to the right conclusion. Of course it's not. While obviously it's harder for a person in pain to provide for the family and work, a lot of people enjoy what Charlie does and get a lot of pleasure from it. And just because Charlie doesn't suffer like a lot of us, it doesn't mean he's got any less of a right to say he's doing a good thing. So after seeing this, I thought, now when I was young, a lot of people used to say, oh, you're disabled, you're worthless, your life's not as good as someone who hasn't got a disability and isn't in pain, and of course it's rubbish. And I thought I'd share one of the stories with you about that. Now when I was young, one of the words for having a disability was invalid, which is spelt exactly the same as the word invalid. Now, to me, that strikes it saying that people with disabilities are invalid, worthless, whatever you want to say. And of course, we're not. I know a lot of people in my generation do think like that. I do get a lot of discrimination in life. You've probably seen me talk about before how I went into a job interview a couple of years ago and someone said to me, why should we employ someone of your kind? You've probably heard all these stories before, so I won't go over them. And I was just thinking, do you think that just because someone has a disability, just because, okay, let's go back to when I was younger and how bad racism was. Even on television they used to use all these racist horrible words and thinking they were normal, and it took me until me probably was about 10 to work it out that what was being taught was wrong and that racism was wrong. And people then thought people of different ethnic backgrounds were worthless. Now in this video, not putting my point across eloquently enough, but is one life worth any more than another? I don't think so. I'll give you an example. As most of you know, I've got a couple of disabilities on their own. Each disability isn't that bad, but when you add them up, it does restrict me quite a bit. Okay, I'm not the most disabled person in the world, thankfully, but when I was younger, I used to go to a club for disabled people called a Fab Club. And there's a lot of people a lot worse than me. And one of my friends was in an accident with a bus, and I'm not quite sure how it happened. Some people say that people were bullying her and she ran in the middle of the road to try and get away from him, didn't see him and went under the bus. Others say it was a complete accident. I don't know the truth, but cut a long story short, she ended up in hospital. For one reason or another, a doctor refused to treat her. Now, there's two different stories on this. I don't know the truth. One says that it was a doctor in the hospital refused to treat her, and the second story was that she had a specialist who worked in a different hospital and he refused to travel to the hospital she was in to treat her. Don't know if either of these stories is true, but whatever happened, she got transferred to another hospital to be treated, and during the transfer she caught pneumonia, and that's what eventually killed her. Now, there's other examples like that, such as a friend of mine was going in for an operation. The last thing she said to me was, it's only an operation. And sadly she didn't come out alive. the story for that one goes is that there were complications and the doctors just gave up. She's disabled anyway, isn't she? Her life isn't worth as much as yours, is it? Now, I cannot guarantee that these stories are true, but I've heard a lot of stories like this. And my question to you is, assuming these stories were true, was the doctor right? Is one life worth more than another? Are the doctors right? And in society, there's a lot of discrimination against disabled people. Okay, here on YouTube, the YouTube community's been fantastic. I've had the odd troll having a go at me because of my disability, but generally, who cares? So, am I just lucky in the YouTube community, just fantastic people, treat us all human? Or is that just the way younger people are today? Do they finally accept that one life is the same as another? Or have I just been unlucky in real life? Or is that the way society really is? Do they see us as invalid? Worthless, whatever you want to call us, whatever they want to call us, I don't know. So let me know what you think. Maybe leave some comments down below or a video response. Now I'll leave a link to Bill's video down there and in the doobly-doo, and hopefully you'll accept this as a video response, but we'll see. Okay, I bored you enough today, so I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra!
You've been watching Footy Nut Guy, which makes you nuts.